Yo le trepo. Yo le subo al caballito. Jálalo, jálalo. Eso. Órale, perro. Camina, hijo de puta. Eso. Yo me le subo al caballo. Yo me le subo al burrito. Miau. Grita como gato. Te dijeron, pendejo, que no te pasaras de verga. Eso, lámbete la mano como un gatito obediente. Ese motherfucker sí lo trae atrasado. Lo trae como un pinche gato. I want you little gatito. Amárralo, que no se te vaya a la verga. Sí. Amarra la burrita. Todavía se queda amarrado el pendejo, güey. Ese güey sí es un vato cobarde, güey. Ese vato sí es un vato panocha. Le está diciendo que haga como toro. Por eso le hace Le está haciendo como vaca, no como toro. Sí, tiene que hacerle como toro, no como vaca.
Welcome all. This is the Georgia Prison Watch podcast. I am Susan Sparks Burns with the Have No Voice, and my colleague Brian Randolph is here from Human and Civil Rights Coalition of Georgia. This is Thursday night, and hopefully we're not going to keep you too long, but we are glad that you're joining us tonight. Brian?
What's going on, everybody? Yeah, we had to start off with that. I guess that's hot off the press. Just received that video about an hour ago. Already posted, already a bunch of discussion around it and in the comments. And I don't know, Susan, I have a mixed reaction to what we just saw.
Well, why don't you tell us about it and how it made you feel?
I think that I think that it doesn't help our cause when we are out here fighting hard as we are for prisoners and those incarcerated to have videos like this. I think I think it helps the Department of Corrections to prove their point on why they think that it's okay to treat those in their care the way that they treat them. I think it's videos like this that, not saying that they are right in that thinking, because I definitely think that they're wrong, but I think that it helps them to prove their point on why they think that they should, that they can treat people the way that they treat them. I mean, just my opinion. It doesn't help. It doesn't help us one bit. I mean, what possibly could that person have done to be tied up, made to walk around or crawl around in the dorm for 3 minutes on video?
Meow like a cat and then get his head beat with a pillow?
Yeah. I mean, so that's my opinion. I don't, it doesn't help anything that we're trying to do out here or anything that anyone is trying to do. when you decide that you want to make videos like this. And I'm looking at it from that side. I have questions, and we've already, spoke on the questions that I have. But from that perspective, I think that it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And
you and I work on advocating for the incarcerated all day, every day. And as you said, this doesn't help our cause. These are, what is the purpose? As a parent, when it becomes necessary to punish a child, the punishment exists to punish them, of course, but it should exist to change their behavior, to have them see a point, to help them understand. And this was humiliation and pain. And for what? To what end? And the net of it is that it does make our job harder when we're going up against 10,000 people in the Department of Corrections here in Georgia who don't look at those in their care as human beings.
Right. And you said something earlier before we came on and we were talking. You said, the lack of humanity is absent from both sides.
It is.
And, you have some people, and I mentioned earlier, where was someone in that dorm that should have or could have walked up and said, "Hey, let's stop this. Let's think about what you're about to do." And you can just hear at the end of the video of how hard he was being hit in the head with the pillow.
Yeah.
And no one in the dorm or no one that was standing around
walking right past it.
Yeah, thought that it would say, okay, let's stop this. I don't care if the guy that was being hit in the head is not affiliated with a gang or not. Did no one have any humanity to stop it and step in and say, hey, let's stop this. Let's think about this. Let's stop what you're doing. We talk about on this podcast, we show on a daily basis the lack of humanity from the Department of Corrections, but we don't talk about enough the absence of the humanity from the offenders, and it's ridiculous, and I think that it proves their point that it's the reason why they treat them like they do. That could be their excuse.
Well, what really struck me in the meowing is that I wouldn't try to break up a cat fight. And I'm afraid that that's even if that was being observed, I don't know that I'd work too hard to break that up, to get in the middle of it. I see how the officers get that way. And I say to our listeners tonight, those who are going to listen to it at another time, give this some thought. Talk to your loved ones. Have your loved ones talk to those that they are with. And there should be some order in these dorms. I talk with people regularly who are in dorms that have there's a head guy or a peacekeeper, or if it's a highly affiliated dorm, there may be 2 or 3 of those. But they can help themselves, and in doing so help our cause. We can't just continue to harangue GDC about how they treat the inmates or the incarcerated people when the incarcerated people treat each other just as badly.
Yeah, I mean, just as bad. And, I mean, just to piggyback off of that, the videos are violence.
Yes.
99% of the videos that we share and that we show are violence.
Yeah.
And it's not one person, and they're fighting each other instead of fighting an unjust system that's treating them worse than animals. They are, so it's uncalled for. And I mean, maybe it's an unpopular opinion. I really don't care. But it makes this advocacy work 100% harder when we have to look at videos like this. And, like I said, that's the flip side. The flip side of all of it is, where is the staff? How is it possible that you can record a 3-minute video of someone getting their head bashed in with a pillow that sound like, I don't even know what it sounds like. You're able to let all of this happen. I mean, I saw two guys that just had nothing to do with that looked like they were going to handle some more business with big, humongous shanks.
Yep. Just
walking freely. So how was that allowed? And people always, Susan, steps in and says, well, what do you want the staff to do? Or what do you want this to happen? Or what do you want that to happen? We expect you to do your job. And your job is, you signed up for that.
Yeah.
You signed up to work in a prison. We didn't sign up for it. If we wanted to sign up for it, we can click on those useless ads that they run every day and sign up for it. But you signed up for this. I mean, is it hard to call a code? Is it hard to use your voice and yell and scream and say stop or whatever the case may be? So, how is this being allowed to take place? And I mean, I guess I'm answering my own question because I know I know why they don't have any staff.
Yes.
But you have to. There's enough of these videos to see that something is terribly wrong.
Regarding how many videos there are, and I know I don't come close to having them all. But in the 4 years I've been involved this way with this, I actually have about 2,000 of these videos. 2,000 of them. To say the least, it is not unusual.
No.
It's commonplace. And what happened to put somebody on the door? What happened to sanctioning someone in some way that whatever little group you happen to be in, we're not going to have anything to do with him. He can't bunk with us. Can't eat with us. Can't do anything. There are other ways to deal with issues, but other than simply violence. Simply violence is pretty base behavior. We're supposed to be an evolved culture, and yet here we are beating the snot out of each other.
Yeah, and so like I said, we understand the argument of this on both sides of it. But at the end of the day, we understand that this is not a one-off. This stuff is happening every day. Yeah. Just look at Smith State Prison. They may as well just park a helicopter there on the premises and just crank it up every time somebody needs to go out. I mean, it's happening on a regular basis. The violence is just so uncalled for. They have no plan whatsoever to stop all of this violence that's taking place and that we're seeing, that we're hearing about. on a regular basis. I mean, you have Smith State Prison where you have life flights going out 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah.
You know, and this is not a one-off. And, you know, so I said all of that to say this: we are planning, and it's going to happen. And I think it's going to be overwhelming support for our rally on October the 3rd, which is 26 days away. We're going to go down to the governor's mansion, and we're going to make our voices heard, because, you know, the governor has been completely missing in action. 100% missing in action. He is the head executive over this state. All of this stuff is going down on his watch, and yet it's crickets from him.
Yeah.
We know that they see the videos. We know that they receive your phone calls. We know that they receive your text messages. We know that they receive your emails. And instead of jumping in, rolling their sleeves up, and trying to do something to correct this, it's crickets from them.
He and his office have been silent.
Yep.
And until we provided the cell phones for the chief of staff and some of the others in his office, they never said anything. Now, we do know that Trey Kilpatrick has been pretty responsive. He passes it on to other people, but he at least acknowledges it and passes it on to be handled.
Yes. I mean, we can say that much, but from the time that we have released his phone number, they've done nothing. You know, just think about if you were in a private sector job and you had all of this stuff going on in the workplace, what would happen?
I know how I would have reacted to that. Everyone participating would have gone out in shackles, and that wouldn't ever have happened again.
Yeah. So, you know, we're planning this because we need to take our voices to them. We need to take our voices outside, away from the social media. And we need to make our voices heard. We need to let them hear us. You know, we talked about this rally as we were planning it, and as we have been, you know, just talking about what we wanted to do on the rally. You know, we want less speaking as possible, and we want to get on the front lines, and we want people to understand that we are out here, and we're going to rally for those people behind the walls, and we're gonna be their voice, and we're gonna make them listen. Now, I don't know if Kemp will be there or not at the residence. I don't know. Really don't care. But it's time to get out, and it's time to rally the troops behind this unjustified, this unlawful system that they're running every day. Every single day, there's something inhumane going on at these prisons. You know, posted a video just a couple days ago where ants came in the breakfast trays. You know,
That's nasty.
And it's stuff like this that we see that's constantly happening. And, you know, we have to get out there. We have to get on the front lines, and we have to make our voices heard. I mean, you know, that's the only way that they're going to hear us. And, you know, it's major. It's a major stepping stone. You know, people who have lost loved ones, you know, we're hearing from them. They're going to be there. You know, we've been in contact with news media. They're going to be there. And we ask you all, whether you're watching this now, whether you're going to be watching it in the coming days, to please plan on being at the October 3rd rally in Atlanta. And we need you. We need every person that can take off of work, who can, be there on that day. Hopefully it won't be too hot. It's in October. It won't be too hot. It won't be raining. But we need everybody. We need everybody there. Susan, go ahead.
Yes. Since Brian and I started doing this podcast back in 2020, the driving force behind this is that people are dying and their loved ones are not getting the truth about it. They're not getting a respectful communication about it. So we've had examples this year of loved ones who found out that their spouse had died, been cremated, and buried before they knew. Another they found out several days after he had died, and he had died at Valdosta. They had been trying for 4 months to find out where the heck he was in the system, and they thought that he was at Valdosta, but Valdosta denied it. Then he died. It was 2 or 3 days before they contacted the family. Then when the family went to view him, he had been beaten to death. This is what we're fighting. This year, 2023, we are going to exceed the number of deaths that we had in this system in 2020. In 2020, we still had 55,000 inmates. We're going to exceed that with 47,000 inmates. It's a much greater rate. And we had something in July, so many deaths that we were having an inmate death every 26.6 hours. That is one a day. And that is what we had, one a day. Of course, they came in clumps of 4 and like that, but we had 31 deaths. So we've got to protest and rally together. They need to hear our voices. We've talked all these years about we need to rally. And those people who tried to organize rallies had 15 people show up.
Yeah, I saw one rally with 6 people.
That's not what we want. We want you to show up. We'll have your T-shirts. You got to pre-order and prepay for your T-shirts, but we'll have your T-shirts. We want you there. If you've got a loved one who has died in this system, please bring their picture. Bring it in as large a size as you've got. If it's an 11 by 14, fine. Bring their picture. I love to bring it home to the people who are going to be driving past on West Paces Ferry Road while we're standing there with pictures of people who have died in this system, in large part because of the issues with lack of staffing. Our staffing here in Georgia is gross understaffing. It's not a little bit. A little bit might be, we got 10% vacancies. Well, 4 years ago, we had 30% vacancies, and now we have 70% vacancies. And yet our commissioner sat in front of the state assembly and told them that they had effective means of recruiting. Well, where are they?
And I'll tell you a story. I talked to a guy today, and I'm not going to say his name, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind me mentioning this, but I spoke with a guy actually late this afternoon after after me and you had lunch today, Susan, spoke with a guy who is on a tier program at a prison and he's 32 years old and has been literally begging for medical treatment. And I don't know how much I can say. I don't want to say so much because I know they listen and they watch this stuff. So, but was literally had been begging for medical treatment. I mean, he's having a lot of medical issues to be as young as he is. And he went and saw someone today. And of course, if you're in the medical field, and I'm no doctor, I'm no nurse, but I've been to the doctor and I've been to the nurse. If you're having an issue, you have to examine the patient to, diagnose their problem. Well, he went today, and the nurse told him, "I'm not looking at that. I don't want to see what you have going on." And I believe the guy because he has been reaching out to us quite a bit, trying to, get medical attention. But something that he said today, it wasn't, well, I need to get out, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. His biggest thing that he said is he felt like that he was ready to die. And it's stuff like that. They're not getting the proper medical attention. They're not getting the proper medical treatment. You have some nurses that that just don't want to treat their issues. And I just told him that we're going to try to help him get some medical attention, proper medical attention, and just to hold on, because and these are stories that we hear every day. Every day we hear stories like this what hope do they have left but to commit suicide or to die of a treatable medical condition?
Yeah. Some of these, and we know this to be true. Some of the deaths by natural causes are almost certainly medical neglect. And that includes people who have been diagnosed with cancer, get transferred to another facility where they're told you're going to get treatment here, and they never see another medical person, and they die.
And you know what, Susan, is so shocking that you say that, and we tell people this stuff and they can believe it or not. We have no reason to lie, but there was a former nurse who reached out to me, and I hope everyone's paying a close attention, because this is important, and it goes back to why we rally and why we have to rally. But she reached out to me just a couple of weeks ago and told me that there were several facilities. Macon State was one, and there was another facility who was finally, the Department of Correction was finally able to get a bunch of doctors and a bunch of nurses together from a lot of these facilities to go into some of these facilities that had medical sick calls, medical appointments backed up 4 and 5 months.
Yeah. And
when she went into Macon State, she was able to look at some of these sick calls that had been put in. And one of the sick calls dated back to almost 4.5 months that had not even went seen, had never been, filled or, looked into. went 4.5 months back.
Yeah.
So, this is the stuff that, has to stop. And no one has lifted any type of finger whatsoever to stop this stuff and to make this stuff any better. And so, Representative John Lewis said it the best, I think. You got to get out there and you got to create good trouble.
Yeah.
So we're going to go out there and we're going to get into some good trouble, and we're going to, we're going to make our voices heard. Like I said, I don't particularly want a bunch of speakers. I want a lot of people to bring their signs, bring their placards. Susan brought up a good point to bring those signs or, those pictures as large as you can with your loved ones' faces if you've lost loved ones in this system. And, we're going to be right in front of a very, very busy highway. And, we want people to see this stuff. We want people to hear this stuff. And to let these people, that ordinary people that may not have a loved one in prison or jail or whatever to see, and let them know that, okay, they have people that's fighting for them and people that's willing to get out here and to cause some trouble for this pathetic system.
Our timing on this really couldn't be better. I am aware that we're going to see some press coming out starting quite soon, actually, and go through the end of the year. That'll be very revealing and be very supportive of what we're saying here. I mean, factually supporting of what we're saying here about the impact of not having enough staff and, of course, not having the right staff. So we've got one commitment on press. We're hoping to get some more that'll be there. Please come share this video. Donate, please, to the legal fund. Brian, would you tell the legal fund Cash App, please?
Yeah, it's $ Georgia Prison Watch.
Okay.
I don't know if we can say too much right now, Susan, about it, but I guess we'll throw a teaser out there on what we got planned and what we're doing. We posted a couple of days ago where there's big news coming, and trust us. And Susan can definitely back it up that we are going to be making probably some very, very big announcements. What do you say, in the coming days or the next, no later than 2 weeks, Susan?
I think so. I'm excited about it, and timing is everything. All of this is coming together at the same time. Over the years, I've learned to appreciate that some things are beyond human ability to make happen. But yet, right here, we're seeing just amazing things happening.
Yeah, it's going to be big, and it's going to benefit everyone that is a part of this coalition. That it's a part of They Have No Voice. That's a part of that supports this work. It's going to be huge. I'm telling you, it's all coming together right now, and Susan's working hard. I'm working hard on bringing it to pass. And I want to give a big shout out to Attorney Janice Mann. We spoke about 30 minutes today. She's helping us get some stuff in order. She's talking to people. She's behind the scenes, behind the scenes on the front line.
Yeah.
So this is going to be crazy. What's going to happen, and it's past due. It's definitely past due.
Yeah, we're excited about it, and I know that when we get just a few more details tied down, we'll have some announcements for y'all. The two groups together, interesting to me at least. I love numbers, so the two groups together are about 50,000 people.
Yeah.
And
now you got to take. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but now you got to take away the trolls, and you got to take at least 1,000 off of that for the trolls.
You're right.
And
49,000.
Yeah.
49,000 who care, and that's roughly the number of people that are incarcerated here in Georgia. We'll come back. We'll circle back to the issue of pardons and paroles at some point in the future. That will be something we'll be approaching, looking for an effective solution for it. I'll share this today because it sort of makes the point of pardons and paroles not having any oversight. I had a guy contact me some time ago, and he through his family made it known that he had done 14 years on a violation for an unpaid fine, an unpaid fee of $190. $190. And his family let me know that Southern Center has taken his case, and that was my recommendation, because that they could do. Take that case, and they've already had an attorney go and talk with him, and hopefully they'll prevail. $190, and he's done 14 years. And that's the magnitude of the system we're trying to deal with, and it's at every turn. It seems impossible. Regarding our system, we had been talking a couple of weeks ago about the young man who was injured, Clarence Nash,
yes,
at Muskogee. Clarence is continuing to improve. It's going to be a long haul, but he was well enough that the attorneys could come in and see him and at least take pictures of him. Now, he's got a trach still. So, but that was the first time that the attorneys have been able to even get in to see him, because he's been too sick, too seriously injured. But I did get that from his mother today. And I'll on the subject of the rally, I'll be putting out a list of what we need in terms of volunteers who'll do what. We had a few people. We had 6 people on a conference call yesterday, maybe.
Which is way too low.
Yeah, but but
no comment on that.
But they had great ideas. Everybody that was on there added something important. So we feel like we've had a good conversation about it. But we'll put out what we need in terms of volunteers. You let us know what you want to do. They Have No Voice is going to print placards, and our thought right now is to use the 3 words, "not one more." But when I saw the picture of the artwork of the T-shirt today, I wondered, should we have the placard say what the T-shirt says? Because the T-shirts look so sharp.
Yeah, and I apologize. A lot of people had been asking about the artwork or the proof design of the T-shirt, and the local printing company that we're going through to get these shirts finally was able to send a proof today of the shirt. So they'll be printing these shirts. The proof is done, so now they're ready to go to print. So it's gonna, I think, a week before when we need them. The caveat of this, and we can always order more, but I mean, I'll just be honest with you. And I think me and Susan had this conversation earlier in the week, is that, we've only ordered 50 shirts. Okay. We've only ordered 50 shirts, and these shirts have to be pre-ordered through us because, so we just don't want a lot of shirts laying around. People may say they want a shirt and then they don't show up to the rally, and then we're left with a cost. So we've ordered 50 shirts. As I said, and as Susan alluded to earlier, is that these shirts are pre-ordered or prepaid. I'm sorry, they're $12. Only thing you have to do is message me, message Susan, or message the Human and Civil Rights page, and you just tell us your name, and we'll provide you with payment details on how you can go ahead and pay for the shirt. We have, I think, smalls. Well, we have all sizes up to 3X. We have shirts up to 3X. We're also willing to, if you can't attend the rally, but you want to buy a shirt, pay for a shirt, we can mail you a T-shirt as well. That's the way that you can purchase this shirt. As I said, the final proof was given to us today, so they're ready to be printed. We've approved this proof right here. So, like I said, they're ready to be printed. And so if you need a shirt, reach out to us. We got you.
Yep. And if you're kind-hearted and able to do so, if you'd like to buy someone else a shirt anonymously, that'd be great too. Because he and I have talked a lot today about costs and plans and so forth. I think in parentheses under our group names, it ought to say justice on a budget, justice on a shoestring. But it won't always be that way, hopefully. So
no, and it won't. No good deed goes unnoticed for too long.
Yeah, really. I know we are making a difference. Everybody out there is part of this, and your support is critical to this. We've had a question about attorneys who will take cases against the Georgia Department of Corrections.
Stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned. This is gonna heat up, get better. We'll have a better situation. So many people who have lost their loved ones through GDC have not been able to find anyone to represent them because they're going up against deep, deep pockets. It's the pockets of the taxpayer, but deep pockets. So we're hoping that we can do our part for that.
Yeah, as I alluded to earlier, and I wish I could just go ahead and tell you, but I can't tell you because the deal is not closed yet.
Yeah.
But as I said earlier, as I alluded to earlier, very, very soon we will have something in place that will benefit everyone who is a part of this coalition.
Yeah.
And I just have to keep it at that. But very, very soon, me and Susan are working day and night on this stuff, and we're close. We're really, really close. And if you believe in prayer, say a prayer for us tonight.
Yeah. We want God to put the right words in our mouths tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you, all of you who have joined in tonight and spent some time with us. We know we're all here because we care about what's going on behind those walls. There's so much injustice. There is so much heartbreak. It doesn't have to be like that. Surely, I don't want that young man's mother to see what we saw tonight. I think she'd lose her mind.
Yeah. All right, let's do this before we leave, Susan.
Okay.
For the people that's listening to us, Susan, put a number in your head between 1 and 10.
All right.
Pick a number.
All
And the
right.
people that's listening to us, type a number in the chat between 1 and 10, and you're going to win a free t-shirt.
I have.
Are you going to tell your number?
No, I've got my number written down so that I cannot be accused of having changed it.
Okay, so here it is again. Put a number in the chat if you're listening to this live right now between 1 and 10. Susan has a number, and if we see that number, you win a free t-shirt.
How about that? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Here we go. All right. Shall we announce the winner next week?
No, we'll announce it right now.
Well, all righty then.
So are you able to look at the chat?
I am able to look at the chat. Of course, you know how I am. I went the wrong direction on the chat. So, but I'm okay, let me look. I see where they start. No winner yet. Sorry.
Have a number close to it.
Okay. No, I think that this needs to be precise. I wrote it down. We got one number.
All right. Well, you got another number that just popped in.
That's not it either.
And you're allowed to put as many numbers as you want to.
Yes, so Brandy's got 7, 8 entries so far. Not really. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Okay, Michelle Rodriguez.
You got it?
Yep.
All right. Here we are.
How about that?
So Michelle Rodriguez sent us a message, and we'll get you a free t-shirt, any size that you need. We may do this again leading up to the up until the rally, but
you're very welcome, Michelle.
But yeah, just send us, Michelle, if you would send us your information, the size that you need, and we'll get you a free t-shirt. And hopefully you can attend the rally on October 3rd. All right, Susan, you got any closing remarks? Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, I am talked out, and I'm fairly consistent in what I say. But share this video. Please donate if you are able. We have a legal fund. We have a legal fund. We're trying to get to the point so that we can file a significant lawsuit. So,
yes.
And that hopefully will be the first of many.
Yep. Hopefully so.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming on with us tonight. For those that's watching live and the ones that will replay this podcast in the next few days, we thank everyone for your support. Thanks for fighting with us. Thanks for supporting us. We read all of your kind words and support, and we definitely appreciate everyone. We thank everyone that has donated so far. Those who have said that they were coming to the rally, who has offered to volunteer, just everything. We definitely appreciate everyone for everything that you do to help us succeed in this fight for justice for those behind the walls that's incarcerated in Georgia. So we definitely appreciate everybody. Have a good Friday, and we will see and speak with everyone next week. And thanks everybody for their support.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, Bert.